The Woman in the Cemetery. The story opens on a gray autumn morning. Wind whistles through the tall oaks that guard the edge of Willow Creek Cemetery, a small town resting place where marble angels lean over forgotten names. And there, among the gravestones, stands Rebecca Hale, her heels sinking into damp earth, a single white rose trembling in her hand. Her black coat flutters as she stares at the name carved into granite. Ethan James Hale, beloved son. 2013 to 2021. She whispers, her voice cracking. 8 years, my baby. 8 years since I lost you. Then suddenly, movement. A woman's sobs echo through the silence, breaking the stillness like glass. Rebecca turns sharply. A few rows away, a Spanish woman, early 30s, is kneeling beside a grave. Her shoulders shake violently. Beside her stands a little girl, maybe 6 years old, clutching a tattered teddy bear. The child looks terrified. And then, the shock that freezes Rebecca's blood. The grave the woman is crying at is the same one Rebecca came to visit. Ethan's grave. Rebecca gasps, her rose slipping from her fingers. The woman looks up, eyes swollen, lips trembling, and whispers something in accented English. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just had to see him. The camera, in YouTube visual style, would zoom close on Rebecca's stunned face as eerie music hums in the background. Collision, hook moment, narrator tone rises. Why was a stranger, a Spanish woman with a little girl, crying over Rebecca's dead son's grave? Before we go deeper, if you're already hooked by this mystery, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the Kindness Chronicles, because what happens next will shatter your heart and rebuild it again. Rebecca stands frozen, her heart hammering against her ribs. Who are you? She demands. Why are you at my son's grave? The woman jumps, quickly wiping her tears. My name is Isabella Rivera, she says softly. Please. I didn't mean any harm. Rebecca takes a cautious step closer. Then tell me why you're crying over my son. Isabella's eyes dart toward the little girl. Maybe we should go, Mija, she whispers. The girl hides behind her skirt, staring shyly at Rebecca. Rebecca kneels to meet the girl's gaze. Sweetheart, what's your name? The child answers in a trembling voice, Elena. Something about that name, Elena, pierces Rebecca's chest. Her late son used to talk about a friend by that name, but that was years ago. Before the accident. Rebecca's mind flashes back, a car crash, flashing lights, rain-soaked roads. Her son's small hand slipping from hers in the hospital bed. She shakes it away. Please, Rebecca says, her voice brittle but curious. Tell me why you're here. Isabella glances around, as if terrified of being seen. Then, barely above a whisper, she says. Because your son, he saved my daughter's life. Rebecca frowns. What do you mean? My son's been gone for 8 years. Isabella nods, tears streaming again. I know. But if it wasn't for him, my Elena wouldn't be alive today. The wind howls through the trees. Leaves scatter. Rebecca stares at Isabella in disbelief. How is that possible? She whispers. Isabella lowers her head. Please, let me explain. But not here. Rebecca hesitates, the logical side of her screams to walk away. But something inside her, maybe the part still aching for her son, whispers listen. She nods. Fine. There's a cafe down the road. Scene transition, Willow Creek Cafe. Warm light fills the small cafe as Rebecca and Isabella sit across from each other. Elena sips hot chocolate, watching the two women carefully. Isabella begins her story. 8 years ago, I worked as a nurse in the children's ward at St. Mary's Hospital, she says softly. That's where I met your son, Ethan. He was the sweetest boy, always smiling, even when he was in pain. Rebecca's throat tightens. He was always smiling, she murmurs. He used to draw pictures, Isabella continues, for the other children, to make them brave. One day, he saw me crying in the hallway. My baby girl, Elena, was born with a heart defect. We didn't have money for the surgery. Ethan overheard the doctors talking, and he said something I'll never forget. She wipes her eyes. He said, "Don't cry, Miss Bella. My mommy can help. She helps everyone." Rebecca feels her stomach twist. I remember, he begged me to help a nurse's baby. I tried, but... Isabella interrupts, her voice trembling. The next day, Ethan, he didn't wake up. But a few weeks later, I got a call, from your foundation. They said an anonymous donor had paid for Elena's surgery in full. I didn't know it was you, or your son's memory, until years later. Rebecca's eyes blur with tears. My God. I never knew you were that mother. Isabella nods. I've come every year to thank him. But I never had the courage to face you, until today. The two women sit in silence, only the hum of the cafe filling the air. Elena climbs off her chair, walks over, and gently lays her teddy bear on Rebecca's lap. My mom says your boy was an angel, she whispers. So this is for him. Rebecca can't hold back anymore. She pulls the little girl into her arms and sobs. But as they embrace, a black SUV parks outside the cafe. A man in a gray suit steps out, glancing through the window, his eyes locking on Isabella. She freezes. Rebecca notices. Who's that? Isabella's voice drops to a whisper. We have to go. Please, don't ask questions. Before Rebecca can react, Isabella grabs her daughter and rushes out the back door. Rebecca is left sitting there, stunned, staring after them, heart pounding, mind reeling. Who was that man? And why did Isabella look so afraid? The secret Isabella hid. 2 days later, Rebecca can't shake the encounter. She returns to Ethan's grave, hoping to find Isabella again, but there's only the wind and silence. Then she notices something new. A small note tucked beneath the vase of flowers. It reads, If you want to know the truth about your son's final days, meet me at the old chapel tonight. Alone. Rebecca's pulse quickens. She hesitates, but curiosity and love overpower fear. That night, rain pours over Willow Creek. The chapel's stained glass glows faintly from the lightning flashes. Rebecca pushes open the heavy door, heart in her throat. Isabella stands inside, soaked, trembling, clutching a worn folder. Thank you for coming, she whispers. You deserve to know what really happened to Ethan. Rebecca steps closer. What do you mean? Isabella opens the folder. Inside are hospital reports, photos, and a letter written in childish handwriting. Before Ethan died, Isabella says, he asked me to give you this. But I was too scared. Rebecca unfolds the letter, her hands shaking. Mommy, if I don't wake up, please help the baby girl whose mom is sad. I want her to live. Don't cry for me, okay? Tell her to smile when she can run again. Love, Ethan. Rebecca covers her mouth, sobbing uncontrollably. But Isabella's voice breaks through the silence, urgent and fearful. There's more, your donation, it saved Elena, yes. But it also uncovered something at the hospital. Rebecca looks up. Isabella explains that the hospital's chief surgeon, Dr. Martin Cole, had been illegally selling donor organs meant for dying children, including Ethan's. Ethan's death wasn't entirely natural. He was on the list for a rare treatment trial, but Cole sold his approved medication and falsified records. When Isabella discovered it, she was threatened. That man in the SUV? Isabella whispers. He works for Cole. I've been hiding ever since. That's why I came here, to finally tell the truth.